Hey everyone else going, welcome back to another video. So I have a lot more stuff to talk about with The Walking Dead. We're not done yet. We have all 6 episode titles. Technically they're like little mini teasers for each episode. We have every single episode title for these 6 episodes, and we have, or each one has a synopsis, so we know exactly what each episode is going to be called. And I also have this press release here that I want to go through here from AMC. They announced the casting of a bunch of stuff here. They said a bunch of stuff. They set up a general synopsis for these 6 episodes, so I want to go over that. And then over the individual episodes. Like the finale's title is Here's Negan. So the Negan episode we've all been waiting for, they're just calling it Here's Negan. That's amazing. And it's apparently going to be kind of intertwined with Carol. Carol's going to take Negan on a journey, and then that leads to the Here's Negan stuff and flashback stuff. So that's going to be a really amazing episode. And that's the true finale to season 10. So anyways, again, there's so much stuff to talk about here. So before we go any further, I do have to warn you for spoilers, I guess. No, I don't have to warn you for spoilers. The Walking Dead ended like over a month ago. But if you are new here and you want more Walking Dead content like this, just make sure to be a subscriber. Now, the press release here, I'm just going to go through. I'll just skim through it really fast. I'll read little bits and parts here. But AMC announced today that The Walking Dead's extended 10th season of 6 new episodes will premiere Sunday, February 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. All 6 episodes will also debut on AMC Plus, the premium streaming bundle, every Thursday prior to the episode's linear premieres on Sundays, beginning February 25th. So I guess basically February 25th. New guest stars featured in those episodes include Robert Patrick, which is so exciting. He obviously plays in Terminator 2, Perry Mason, and Scorpion. He's playing a character named Maze, and Hilary Burton Morgan from One Tree Hill and White Collar, Friday Night In with the Morgans. She's playing Lucille. We already knew that. Along with new co-star, I'm going to butcher his name, I really apologize, but Oki M. Akwar? OK M. Arkwari? Doesn't help that I'm half blind and I'm trying to read this, but he's from Greenland and Cobra Kai. He's playing a character named Elijah, and then it says among others. So I guess there's going to be other characters making an appearance. And I think that's going to be Commonwealth stuff because they haven't announced the casting for that yet. And we'll get into that right away. Last on The Walking Dead, we witnessed the fall of Alpha, Samantha Morton, and the end of the Whisperers War. The kingdom had fallen, Hilltop was virtually destroyed, and Alexandria abandoned to prepare for the final battle, Jesus. Our survivors were trapped and separated from one another, yet, when faced with almost certain death, they rallied together to fight, killing Beta, Ryan Hurst, and eliminating the threat of the Horde. In these 6 new episodes, we find our survivors trying to pick themselves up by their bootstraps following the destruction of the Whisperers left in their wake. The years of struggle weigh upon them as past traumas surface, exposing their more vulnerable sides, as they question the state of humanity, the state of their collective community, and the states of their minds. Will they find the inner strength to persevere with their lives, friendships, and group intact? I got this from comicbook.com, so I'll leave a link down below because they go into it a lot more. There's a whole thing with casting and information in there, so again, if you want to read this and read a lot more of it, it's down below. But that's definitely exciting. This is basically what I did a video on before, but they just went into more detail here. I didn't know that it was going to come out on AMC Plus the Thursday prior, which I guess obviously makes sense. So I guess most people are going to be watching it on February 25th. So instead of 101 days as of today, November 19th, minus 3 days, so 98 days. I saw this here from TV Line, and this is the synopsis and episode titles for the last 6 episodes, so we will just get into that right now, because I'm sure that's what you guys mostly want to get into. So, episode 17, we knew the title. It is titled Home Sweet Home. Maggie has returned with a story she is not ready to share, even when her past catches up to her. Negan's safety is at stake again. Daryl and Maggie fight an unseen and unknown threat. So this episode is, obviously we know Carol's going to be in this episode. Basically, this is Maggie returning home. She is not ready to, I guess, face just certain things of her past. Her past catches up with her. That's Negan, right? The fact that he's there, she's ignored him and blocked him out of her mind for a long time now. She's back. He is allowed out, and it says Negan's safety is at stake again, that's obvious. And so now I think Maggie is just at a point where, yeah, it's gonna be interesting here. Daryl and Maggie at the end there, it says fight an unseen and unknown threat. I don't really know what that's about. It's not going to be anything too crazy though, because it's not. I don't think it's going to be Commonwealth related. It'll be very, very small. It might even be a whisperer, right? Like it's possible that there's a whisperer around still, because we don't know what happened to all the whisperers. It could just be, well, actually, no, it says unseen and unknown threat. So if it's unseen, something's happening to the Hilltop or Alexandria and they don't really know what's going on. So it could be that. It's a 1-episode thing. So whatever that's going to be. It's a perfect episode to start off these 6 episodes though, right? Like you don't want to start off with Here's Negan or even the Gabriel and Aaron spinoff episode or standalone episode. If you start off with that, it just kind of throws everything off. From a writing perspective, starting off with something that recaps where you're at in the finale but sets up the next couple of episodes is just perfect. So yeah, I agree with this. Episode 18, this is not titled Splinter. Splinter is actually episode 20. If you remember, we got a teaser for Splinter. That's the Commonwealth episode. I thought that was episode 18, but it's actually not. It's that's episode 20. Episode 18 is titled Find Me, and this is a Daryl and Carol episode. And this is going to explore a lot of stuff with Daryl reliving his trauma after Rick disappeared, or to him he died, right? So this is probably going to go way more in depth on Daryl and just him missing Rick, how he dealt with Rick's loss and stuff. And so that's going to be interesting because we never really saw a lot of it, right? If you think about it, we saw him cry, he walked away, he left, he went out and lived out in the woods, but they just kind of left it there because he came back right away because of the whispers and stuff. So you can actually go back there and do that. It says Find Me. I guess that's Daryl finding himself. But anyways, the synopsis here says, an adventure for Daryl and Carol turns sideways when they come across an old cabin. It takes Daryl back to the years when he left the group after Rick disappeared, as he relives a time that only the apocalypse could manifest. So this is going to be a flashback episode to, I guess, around the time after Rick left, him searching for him everywhere, maybe finding some clues, and just dealing with the fact that Rick's gone. And I think that this episode could be really powerful. This is going to be a Daryl standalone episode. You're going to have Carol there too. But I'm excited for this episode. Each one, I think, for character development anyways, it's perfect, right? Episode 17 is the Maggie one. 18 is this Daryl one, dealing with his past traumas in, losing his friend Rick, or I guess I should say his brother Rick. And then we get to 19 here, which is titled One More. The synopsis says, Gabriel and Aaron search for food and supplies to bring back to Alexandria. Small tragedies lead to bigger tragedies as faith is broken and optimism is fragmented when they are put to the ultimate test, which is the new character Robert Patrick is playing, and his name is Maze. So that's why they're out there. They're out on a supply run. I'm guessing they get drunk, and then they meet this new character named Maze, and then Father Gabriel's his faith is tested. Splinter is episode 20. And the synopsis says, Eugene, Ezekiel, Yumiko, and Princess are captured and separated. Princess struggles with memories of her traumatic past and tries to escape one way or another with the help of Ezekiel. So that's going to be a Princess episode, I guess backstory episode, but it's going to be mixed in with some Commonwealth stuff because obviously we need to get into all of that. Like they're trapped there with the Commonwealth. So I'm guessing we're not going to get all of the Pamela Milton stuff. Like we could get some versions of that, but I'm starting to think now that Pamela Milton won't be a part of these episodes. We might meet Lance and stuff and might get their initial, like them leaving to the Commonwealth to go see this place, get all that information there. But we're not going to actually meet Pamela or Sebastian, her son, Mercer and stuff like that until the final season next fall. Episode 21 is titled Diverged. And the synopsis says, Daryl and Carol come to a fork in the road and head their separate ways, each going into their own type of survival mode. The easiest of challenges become much harder. Will their individual journeys be the tipping point needed to mend their friendship, or is the distance between them permanent? So this is going to have to deal with, or I'm thinking it's probably going to deal with Connie, what happened there, and probably just some things with Rick and just what you do with Alexandria, what you do with Negan. So I'm starting to think now that Carol wants Negan to stay. Daryl doesn't because he's just siding with Maggie, right? Like maybe Daryl's like, I understand he helped, but like Glenn, Maggie's here. She's more important and her son Herschel. And so I think Carol, because she made a promise, because she can actually see more of who Negan is, I think it's going to feel really bad for him. So I think that's what's going to happen here. It's going to be a standalone episode sort of with those two characters, I guess literally going into their own type of survival mode, whatever that means. And their friendship is going to be tested, I'm guessing, over this issue, over this, Connie, and all of that. I think it's going to be a pretty amazing episode. And then the true finale to season 10 is titled Here's Negan. It's episode 22. And the synopsis reads, Carol takes Negan on a journey. Hoping to minimize the increasing tension, Negan reflects on the events that led him to this point and comes to a conclusion about his future. So this is exciting because I guess we know the end result, right? Carol's going to take Negan somewhere where maybe he can start a new life. Maybe it is going to be that cabin, right? Maybe that's where Negan stays. Maybe they're going to follow that storyline where they allow Negan to be free, but they're just going to exile him, right? Like, you just can't be around anymore. And I think Maggie will come to that conclusion because it doesn't matter if he's alive in the community or in that cell, the fact that he is still around bugs her. So just get rid of him. Just banish him from everywhere here and make that threat. If you come here, we're going to kill you. It's as simple as that. So banish him, just completely remove him from the situation. That could be what Carol's doing here. Carol might have thought of that and was just like, you know what, this is the best opportunity for you, the best thing for you. And then Negan's going to reflect on what it was like when he was out on his own. I'm hoping Dwight's going to be in this episode because he is in the backstory here. So they could bring him back for this. There's Lucille. Obviously, we're going to get that, which will be a lot of fun. And then he comes to a conclusion about his future. Is he just going to leave? If he leaves, that's how the season 10 is going to end. Negan just leaves Alexandria and he's on his own. And in the comic, that is the last we see of him. That's it. So if they do that, is that the last we're going to see of Negan or Jeffrey Dean Morgan? Or is he not going to be in the final season of The Walking Dead? It's possible. It really actually is possible because he doesn't have any role to play in that final season. It is the final season too, so it's not like you need to have him there, right? They don't have to worry about ratings and stuff like that because it's the final season. You're mostly watching because of that. So this could be the end of Negan in these 6 episodes. We'll have to see what decision he comes to here, but that I'm really interested in all that. So I'm going to leave it here. Post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. And